We get into Act 3. Burnham watches her mother's mission logs and learns that time travel was not for the faint of heart. She believes that humans weren't meant for it, but that navigation was the easy part. As Burnham begins to explain her leaving, Pike's voice sounds on the intercom, calling Giorgio to his ready room and Burnham to the bridge. Tilly remarks that their goodbye needed to be non-existent, as that's not who they were. Tilly tells Burnham they plan to stay with her, and Burnham protests, saying she couldn't allow them to do this. Saru reminds her that they accepted the possibility of losing them when they joined Starfleet, and that they're all they had now. Burnham realizes that Tyler is not going along with her, and that she needs to remain behind, and he needs to remain behind with Section 31, so nothing like Control could ever take over again, because he did such a fantastic job this last time.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. He was instrumental.
Yeah.
In all of this.
Very important.
So much so that now she has to go into the future forever.
Yeah.
And never come back. Because he did such a bang-up job.
Yeah, and remember at this time there was no talk of Strange New Worlds. The next show that they were working on was Section 31. That was the next big spin-off they were doing, was Section 31.
Well, apparently we're still getting it, but I guess once they decided to greenlight Strange New Worlds, it kind of took a little bit of a backseat.
Oh, it should have taken a much bigger backseat. The crew begins preparing farewell messages for their loved ones. Saru records a message for Sarana. Tilly records a message for her mom. Owo records a message for her family. Detmer records a message for her friend Tazzy. And Stamets records a message for his sibling.
So, I don't understand this whole thing. Mm-hmm. Not the message part. It obviously, if you were about to irreversibly go into the future, you'd want to say some things to your family members left behind. But I think it was Owo who basically said, "I hope you hear this one day," or something like that. So yeah. That tells me that these messages are not meant to go out right now. They're meant to
be discovered later.
Well, my headcanon is, because this whole operation is super secret squirrel classified, it's going to be some time before any of these messages even come out.
Yeah, because you know what I didn't watch for, and I wasn't really thinking of, and spoilers here for anybody who needs to be warned, they're all going to be passed off as dead at the end of this.
Yeah.
And so I guess if they had anything in their message that said, "Hey, by the way, we're going 1,000 years in the future,"
which all of them pretty much did.
They can't let that out.
Well, maybe they didn't say it. I don't know. You might be able to make the argument that with the wording each of them used, it was pretty ambiguous as to what happened. But I don't know, man. I still feel it with all their statements. They weren't leaning towards telling their family they died.
I am agreeing with you. There was some other, not secret squirrel stuff, but some Lancelot Link secret chimp stuff, maybe.
It does make sense. If they have any inkling on what's coming, that's the whole thing too, because obviously the whole thing wasn't classified highly until after it happened.
Right.
Well, I mean, they do have the Admiral on board the Discovery, or the Enterprise. So, maybe my headcanon is right this second that maybe there was a briefing by her. I'm not sure. But like I said, because of what Owo had in her message, it just makes me feel like these messages were not meant to be sent out immediately.
Yeah. I didn't really think about it much because I wasn't paying that much attention. But yeah, I think you were probably onto something there. I think maybe they were, I don't know. There was some other set of plans for them is what I'm thinking.
Now, see, I wouldn't have thought much about it either, but my wife brought up something about it and we started discussing it for a second. And then it hit me. I was like, wait a second. Given how at least one of them is talking, these don't seem like they're about to go out now.
Yeah. Yeah, that's in. Okay, well, I'll have to ponder that a little bit more, I think.
Yeah.
In my moments of rumination and pondering.